Wisconsin. Presented by Mars Family Foundation on 96.5 WKLH.
You know, it seems like the services of Children's Wisconsin are endless.
Yeah, and you are absolutely right. Before we talk to our next guest here, though, just to remind you that this is a power hour. So make those phones ring. Thanks to the folks at C.G. Smith, we have a double power hour. So $1 becomes $2. We're going to double your donations.
Yeah, C.G. Schmidt will double it. So get it in there and make those phone operators busy during this last segment we have.
All right, now every child deserves a safe and loving home. And you may or may not know, but Children's is the largest provider of foster care programming in the state. Children's Wisconsin believes that kids are their best when they're raised in a healthy family with a strong, supportive community. And your donation helps provide loving homes for kids like the ones we're about to talk about. And we are going to talk to, we have Allie Jones, who's the supervising of licensing and placement at Children's, and then Laura, who's the manager of out-of-home care and licensing, and then, of course, Jessica and Dana Langill. Now, we have Dana with us. And Dana and Jessica were nominated and selected as recipients of the 2023 Governor's Foster Care Award. They were chosen because of their extraordinary commitment to being a positive influence on children in foster care and going above and beyond what is expected to advocate on behalf of fostering youth. So welcome all of you. Thank you for being here. And Dana, why don't we start with you and tell us a little bit about your story and your background and how you came to foster these kiddos.
Cool, thank you so much for having me. So my wife and I had been wanting kids, and we tried to stay active in the community, so it seemed like a good fit. So we reached out and ended up getting licensed to foster care through Children's, and from the get-go they were wonderful. Like, Allie was our licensing worker, and I would say all these things even if she wasn't sitting right next to me, but she was phenomenal, like so personable, answers all your questions, and gets you all trained and ready to support the kids in whatever capacity they need. So my wife and I have been fostering for a few years now. We've been lucky enough to, our first placement was a little baby, and he was able to return home to his parents. And thanks to the support from Children's, we were able to build a really good relationship with his family, and we're actually his godparents right now, which is really exciting. We've taken placement of 2 other babies that they unfortunately were not able to return home, and we were able to adopt them. And we've also had a couple of teen placements, including one who she gave birth to her baby right after she got placed in our home, and she's actually living just a few minutes from us right now, working, and we still see each other pretty frequently.
That's awesome.
What's it like going through the licensing process that you talked about?
They show up to your house with a thick stack of paper. It looks like homework. But honestly, it's very straightforward. They just want to go over the details of what it's going to take to be a foster parent, and if you're one of those people who gets nervous by that, like, please don't be. They see where you're at and they get you whatever your needs. So, like, they make sure you're set up financially, that you and your partner, if you've got one, like, you're supported and have everything that you need. And so the process can take, honestly, as long as it needs to. For us, I think it took a few months because we were trying to whip through it, but you'll do a couple of home visits, you'll make sure you get all the smoke detectors, fire extinguishers. You do a handful of trainings, which are really flexible and online. And at any point in time, you've got your wonderful, whoever your ally is going to be, to answer any questions and help you along in the process.
Now, how did you know to go to Children's Wisconsin for fostering and adoption? Did you do the research? Did someone let you know?
Full transparency, my wife is the research person. I'm along for the ride half the time. We originally started with another agency, but just like the first few steps of it were kind of not ideal, so we ended up stopping and going over to Children's. And like I said, from the get-go, they were just wonderful and so helpful that it was really easy to complete the process with them and go from there.
And Allie, what's the process like on your end, finding these people who want to do this and then granting them the license as they go through the process? What's that like for you?
Absolutely. So we have a wonderful recruitment team that Laura can speak more about, who help recruit for our wonderful foster families that we have and to help us place children.
Laura?
Yeah, with 6,000 children in care in the state of Wisconsin, 1,800 here in Milwaukee, there is a great need for wonderful people like Dana to step up and take good care of our kids and help them reunify with their families. So If anybody out there would also like to do amazing things, you can look us up at our website, childrenswi.org/fostering.
Can we dig down a couple layers here? Why would children need to be reunited with their families? How does that work exactly? Why does that occur?
Well, children should be with their parents.
Yes. Yes.
And so if they are in a situation where things aren't safe in the moment, we do try to keep children with their families. When we are not able to, we try to keep children with their relatives or someone that they know.
Sure.
If we're not able to do that, then wonderful individuals like Dana and her partners step up, and then we work with the family to get to a situation where everything is safe so that the child can go back home.
What kind of numbers are we talking about with regard to these kids? How many are there in circumstances like this?
We have 1,800 children in Milwaukee in the foster care system right now.
Wow. Now, Dana, what would you say to those that are listening that maybe, why should they support children's? And maybe if they're thinking about doing this, what is your advice to them?
Do it. You absolutely should do it. I really appreciate children's approach because, like Laura said, the data shows like kids do best when they're with their biological families. And sometimes the world is not a fair place, and that can't always work out the way we all want it to for kids. But children sets the biological families and the foster families up to build that relationship so that it is what it's supposed to be, which is a whole village working with the kids. It should never be us versus them or anything like that. It's about helping the kids be their best version of themselves, and that's why Children's is doing such amazing work. They work with everybody to get the kids what they need.
Well, thank you for stepping up and for fostering and coming and talking to us about it. This is one of those programs that is supported by the community, and it's supported by from the foundation and from donations, and that is why we are putting the call out to you to call us and make a donation. It's being doubled right now, 414-337-9554, or you can text WKLH to 51555. We need those donations. We have a big goal to get to in the next 40 minutes or so, and we're counting on your support.
Thanks to C.G. Schmidt for doubling those donations this hour, and thanks to you for stopping in. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having us.
All right. The Miracle Marathon continuing.